What's going on, guys? I hope you all are doing well this afternoon. It is Friday. Looking forward to the weekend myself. Yeah, I'm just going to be going about it through Ethereum. Ethereum's definitely been leading the crypto market as of late. Yes, Bitcoin has been showing some signs, but really the most bullish chart in regards to like big caps has been Ethereum. Yeah, so I've been kind of away, just been kind of spotty and stuff as of late, not gonna lie. Um, Recently been working on some Solidity smart contracts. I've been working a little bit more as a developer in the Web3 space, and yeah, I've been working on some projects, got contracted for a couple of those things, so I've been pretty busy with that stuff, so I apologize. At some point, I would hope to complete these contracts and kind of get more so back on the charts. But yeah, from an intraday perspective, it's been really, really interesting. I still have my limit order set here around 1520. I did do some spot positions. I'm not gonna lie, I do regret not going leveraged long, even if it was just for like 2x or 3x. Man, this rally has been pretty juicy, I would have to say. So myself, I'm so sorry, I'm getting a phone call. I'm just gonna halt on that. I'll call you back, sorry. But yeah, so far at current prices, we are looking at an 11% pump. What's phenomenal is that going into this, there was a bear flag that was kind of forming. A bear flag, a bull flag. There was a bull flag forming. So how you measure these is exactly like this. So I already did the measured move. So you get to the base of the local bottom, the closest local bottom, and then you get to the top of the pole of the uh, bull flag. Then you drag that to the point of breakout, and uh, you get the measured move. Now these can underperform, overperform, all that kind of stuff. But really, what I'm kind of curious about is we did have this kind of like descending broadening wedge right here play out. It is constituted by this white line and then this yellow line, which I'll turn white right here. So boom, boom. A little bit more visual with a black background. But anyway, so just noticed a bullish pin bar. Backtest this as support and also the whole suite as support. So I do imagine this pumping a little bit farther and completing to the endpoint of this move. It's probably like another 5% roughly. Now if you go to the 4 hour a little bit higher, my support and resistance indicator is showing some significant points to be aware of. So as long as price is above basically 1700, you can expect price to continue up. Now there is a rejection zone potentially at 1730, but once that clears, we're looking at 1786 all the way up to 1800. So really interesting times that we're in. Now, not gonna lie, I've been talking about this for weeks, and I've been pretty adamant that we never backtested this zone as resistance when it broke down. This gnarly breakdown was roughly around 1828, 1830. You could arguably say 1850. Okay, that hasn't been backtested as resistance, neither as 2000. So, frankly, bearish cases would be to watch out and take profits near 1800 because a gnarly, and I mean a gnarly dump could happen. Okay, so we have for the most part fulfilled um, this recovery from my perspective, but we are still very far and away from the highs. Literally, price would need to pump another 17% and above to break this downtrend. That's a huge ask, frankly, given how this price has rallied. I would say that, frankly, I would not be surprised if price continued to pump, maybe to like 1800, that a pretty sharp reversal would ensue. Um, Now, I do like this area right here. It was a nice consolidation period, but there's not a lot of data back here, especially recent kind of content, recent data. I mean, I don't know why I have this here. Okay. Anyway, I do expect 1520 to get back tested now. That's the thing. Basically, we do have a lot of buy orders in this particular zone. This support and resistance indicator is showing that a lot of limit orders are right here. So I would expect, even if price were to pump all the way up to say, like 1800 and it comes down, I would expect at least like a bounce around this zone. Now, will it create a higher high from that point, come all the way up to 2K, or is it going to break down and kind of touch back into the, you know, low 1K level? So this is really tough for me, given also that this anchored VWAP is kind of consolidating, like it's no longer pointing up like how it was here. It's now kind of just like flattening out. That's a little bit concerning to me. After this rally, I would frankly expect some consolidation and reversal to the downside, and maybe we chop for a little while until we ultimately kind of get a decision. Now, this is going to be interesting. To be honest, like uh, the central bank is controlling indices and securities, commodities, all that kind of stuff. So really, um, the Federal Reserve essentially is going to be raising interest rates again at some point, which is going to be 0.75 basis points. Usually, when that happens, it affects the stock market and essentially all asset values negatively. So that's something to keep in mind as well going into this. Now, I've been listening to a lot of like different macro voices along the way, and essentially they're saying that the Federal Reserve is kind of like overextending their initiative to quell inflation. So this macro stuff, I do feel, is contrary to what the price is doing right now, but I do feel like we might have one more leg down into the depths, into the dark, dark depths of crypto hell before we actually can get a base. Ideally, in a perfect world, what I'm seeing in the chart right now is phenomenal. It's pretty good. But I would love to see a back test of maybe like the 1K mark, maybe even, lower to like 879 to then create some form of like weekly, bullish divergence or something like that. Like once I see a divergence on the higher term time frames, like the 3 day or the weekly, that's when I'll be completely bullish. Screw dollars, like I'm going all in crypto. But right now, that's just not the case. Like I'm trading, USDT ETH pairs. You know what I mean? Like I'm taking profit in USDT, not in ETH. In the bull market, I mean, I was trading, perpetual contracts, meaning like you know, um, I would doll up some Bitcoin to earn Bitcoin. You know what I mean? To further escalate my percentages because, it was just pumping. The price was freaking going insane. Ethereum as well. I was trading Ethereum and Bitcoin mostly during the bull market. But I was doing perpetual contracts, meaning that I would fork over Bitcoin and Ethereum to wager into these trades. And I would either net ETH or Bitcoin. In this case, in the bear market, I'm trading USDT pairs because, the US dollar is going through a freaking bull run as well. So anyway, uh, right now I'm pretty happy with the market itself. There is this line of support right here. It could be better seen on the 1 hour. I'm going to turn this into a green, and it comes all the way back down here. And it essentially hasn't gotten back tested at all just yet. No reason to at this time. But essentially, same thing that's kind of happened with the last rising wedge, which is all the way back here. I am kind of expecting some form of rising wedge to show itself. I don't think there's enough data to really um, to state that just yet, because I do feel like given that this pump will kind of, I think, excuse me, once I see the pivot, um, then I'll kind of reconsider my stance on all that. But yeah, as far as everything's looking like pretty overextended. I will say that. But, if you go to like the 12 hour, we're crossing the 50 zone, so that's pretty pivotal. I mean, this thing could definitely run still. We could definitely hit, you know, 2K and beyond here. There is a a scenario where we just completely break through, 18K and we just go straight to 20K. There is a lot of room. So my dynamic support and resistance indicator, I'm just going to delete this just to show you if in fact price is able to break literally the zone that we're really near. We're looking at a huge rally on the 1 hour. Huge. There's no resistance. Excuse me, till 1900. Now, that's a tough cookie for me to swallow at this time. I don't see it happening just yet. We could get some consolidation. As you can see on the 37-minute price is currently below the whole suite. Doesn't mean that it's going to come down, but I do feel like there is going to be some consolidation coming because look, just as price, was below the whole suite over here, it took roughly until the next pump a day. So now given what I'm seeing here on the 37-minute time frame, there's nothing above us. Usually when that shows, what that tells me is that we kind of overstepped our boundaries and we might kind of come back to earth and then consolidate for a little bit and then we'll see exactly what's the case. But so far so good. Topside support has been back tested, but now if there is a rollover, and I must say this, we do have an inkling of a potential head and shoulders pattern. So it's not set in stone just yet, but it's just something to keep aware of. Okay, so if you see something like this where price pumps, then kind of breaks below the 9 exponential moving average, which is this yellow line right here, and then creates another shoulder, then, we could arguably see a retest of the lower areas, which is, not a bad thing. If you miss this pump, like, you should rejoice that there is even another opportunity to get cheaper prices. All right, so whoopsie daisy. All right, and then you got the measured move. So if it does break down, yeah, and actually, funny enough, it would literally line up with the base of this bull flag right here, which was never back tested, by the way. Well, makes sense, makes sense. But yeah, you could extend this out a little bit more. I'm on the 37-minute time frame, so I like the 37-minute time frame for intraday stuff, so it really matches up really well. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna extend this out. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, if that head and shoulders pattern plays out, we're probably looking at a retest of probably 1650 at the very least. Ultimately, as it stands, I gotta be completely honest with you. I'm bullish until 1800. Um, like I said before in the previous video, that you're better off trading against head and shoulders patterns because literally the winning percentage, if I'm not mistaken, because there was this like hedge fund that did like quant data and kind of like analyzed charts of various assets, kind of like literally did percentage recaps, winning and loss recaps of head and shoulders patterns, triangular patterns, all that kind of stuff, rising wedges, falling wedges. And yeah, Head and Shoulders like had like a win rate of like 43%, 42% roughly. So, that's why I keep saying like, okay, if you see like a Head and Shoulders pattern, make sure that you have other indicators saying similar things, because if your momentum indicator is showing bullishness and you're seeing a Head and Shoulders pattern, I'm gonna I'm gonna lean more towards my momentum indicators as opposed to candle reading or chart reading. But yeah, but as it stands here on the 4 hour perspective, as long as price is above 1681, pretty much all the way down here, roughly, we're bullish. So that's is where I'm probably going to leave it off, but I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you think this information is valuable, share it with your friends. Also, yeah, if you haven't already, please like this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, like a quick recap is I'm frankly looking at 18K. I do think this bull flag is legit. There could be a pullback, in between to retest the top side of it. Um, and if not, I do expect if you see a couple hourly candles close, like if you see more wicks above the whole speed indicator, then yeah, this is probably just going to run up all the way to 18K and then revert back to at a later date as opposed to today or tomorrow. But anyway, thank you once again. Take care. Bye bye.